Stealing a Darwin has a whole new meaning in this video. I'm proud to introduce you to 10 thieves who received instant justice as a reward. They earned themselves a Darwin Award. If you enjoy Darwin Awards, you're in the right place. Leave a like and consider subscribing for a new Darwin winners every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Number 10. Pancake Pantry Thief. Nashville's Pancake Pantry restaurant is well known through the music industry, not only for its great pancakes, but for its star-studded clientele as well. It is not uncommon for the pantry's sidewalk to be littered with long lines of customers waiting for breakfast and the chance to see a famous country star dining there. The man involved in this story may linger longer in our memories than the average country singer's career. It seems one of the Pancake Pantry employees, noting how successful the place was, thought it would be a perfect place to rob. Early one morning, he climbed on the roof and reached the exhaust chute that hangs over the pantry's large flat grill. Upon inspection, the perpetrator realized that he couldn't negotiate the tight passage fully dressed. He disrobed and slid down the exhaust chute naked. This was the last thing he ever did. Imagine the surprise of the opening crew for the restaurant that morning. As they prepared for the morning's breakfast, they were horrified to find a pair of legs dangling just inches from the griddle. What happened to our would-be villain? It seems that the chute was so tight, there was no room for error. As he slid down the chute, he slipped and caught his own arm under his chin where he got stuck. He died by suffocating himself. Number 9. Slaughterhouse Robbery. 3 men wielding knives tried to rob a slaughterhouse. But when it comes to hand-to-hand combat with sharp blades, butchers working in a slaughterhouse are more than a match for the average thief. They stabbed 2 of the intruders to death. The third man escaped from the angry butchers and fled to his car. Police soon spotted him, and after a brief car chase, the would-be thief pulled over and leapt from his vehicle. But instead of fleeing into the underbrush, he tried to dodge heavy traffic and escaped across the highway. Perhaps he thought that threatening butchers with knives was not a sufficient demonstration of his intelligence. Within seconds, the natural justice system meted out his punishment in the form of a large truck, which struck him and killed him. Number 8. God saves? A wealth of literature makes it abundantly clear that deities often intercede to protect their sanctuaries from desecration. In light of this knowledge, 2 men who planned to burgle a church probably should have brought along their rosaries and their crosses. Travis was on the roof of Grace Church in Des Moines, lowering a stolen generator to the ground when his jacket became wrapped in the electrical cord and pulled him over the ledge to dangle precariously in the air. At that point, he could have cut himself free with the sharp knife in his pocket. He could have escaped by wriggling out of his jacket. Travis, inexplicably, did neither. The surviving thief, unaware of his friend's plight, waited 15 minutes before leaving Travis, trapped in the freezing rain, to die of exposure. Next time you steal from a church, remember Travis's fate and reconsider. That bit of booty is not worth risking the touch of a vengeful god. Number 7. Modus operandi misfires. Randy Nestor, 28, was a considerate car thief. When the stolen cars became hot, he didn't just abandon them. He torched them. Setting the cars on fire, he reasoned, helped the owners collect insurance on their vehicles. This criminal habit became his downfall. After a 10-year career of theft, Randy burned to death in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in a van which he had set fire to from the inside. He hadn't realized that the door handle on the driver's side was broken. Friends tried to release him, but the door was locked. His burned body was found inside the van the following Sunday. Number 6. Killing time. Electric trains in Glasgow collect power from the overhead cable and transmit any excess through the rails to a solid copper cable that routes it to the power redistribution box. Copper is a favorite target for thieves. One enterprising fellow with a good knowledge of the electrical system planned to cut the copper cable during the time between trains, when no electricity was traveling through it. His plan might have worked, but for one small flaw. In the pocket of his charred overcoat, police found an out-of-date rail timetable. The train arrived 10 minutes before he thought it would, sending hundreds of volts of electricity through the thief's hacksaw and into his body, and putting an untimely end to his career. Number 5. Slippery when wet. The Darwin Awards have celebrated many boneheaded things burglars do in the commissions of their crimes. For instance, taking a shortcut down a 55-foot sheer rock face. Early one morning, 2 men broke into a high school gym in Sweden. After a profitable stroll through the building, they were startled by a janitor. They raced out of the building into the pre-dawn darkness. Fearing imminent detection, they took a shortcut to safety, down the face of a 55-foot rock escarpment. But in selecting this convenient shortcut, they failed to consider 3 crucial facts. First, it was pitch black. Due to the northern latitude, the sun rises late in Sweden. Second, it had rained during the night. And third, the rock in eastern Sweden is granite, the type of rock that is polished onto posh floors and fancy countertops. The dangers of slippery granite is a well-known fact for the residents of the area. Escaping down a granite cliff, in the rain, in the dark? Try tilting a slab of polished granite, pouring water over it, and making a controlled descent while carrying a load of loot. This is the province of mountain goats, not humans hoping to pass on their genes. In short, one of the burglars slipped and fell head over heels to his death, bringing a new meaning to the crack of dawn. Number 4. Descent of Man. One night in 2007, police were responding to a body in a courtyard call. They found a 19-year-old man who had perished by falling from a great height, although the roof access was securely locked and there were no open windows overlooking the courtyard. Clearly, they could rule out self-harm, but what had happened? Eventually, an informative eyewitness was found, the man's younger brother. He told police that the two of them had intended to burglarize an apartment, and his brother had climbed a cable TV wire to a 5th floor window. While struggling to force the window open, he had lost his grip on the TV cable and fallen to his death. The surviving brother panicked and ran. When asked why they had selected that particular apartment, the brother replied, "They obviously got a TV if they got a cable going through their window. Obviously." Number 3. Catalytic converter catalyst. In March of 2021, police arrived at an auto repair lot around 6:20 a.m. to find a man underneath a Toyota Prius. Sean Harp, who works at the complex where the incident occurred, was in his office when a pretty frantic person alerted him that he had found a dead man beneath the car. Harp investigated and said he saw the man's torso under the vehicle with his feet and legs exposed. It was evident that he was crushed. Upon further inspection, police said it appeared the man was trying to steal the catalytic converter when the jack he was using failed and he was crushed under the weight of the vehicle. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department recently arrested nearly 20 people in connection with catalytic converter thefts and recovered 250 of them, valued at $750,000. This may not be the last time a catalytic converter thief meets a crushing end. Number 2. Burning for a Darwin. Around 3 p.m. in November 2015, firefighters responded to a California home where a man was found stuck in a chimney but apparently still breathing, according to the sheriff's office. By the time firefighters had broke into the chimney, the man was no more. The sheriff's office said when the homeowner lit the fire, he heard a man yell from inside the chimney and the house began to fill with smoke. The homeowner quickly put out the fire and firefighters were called. The sheriff's office said its investigation indicates that the man tried to enter the home through the chimney overnight and got stuck. And the homeowner, who was away that night and returned the next day, didn't know anyone was inside until he lit the fire. The responding officer said, "I've been a deputy for almost 17 years now, and I've never seen anything like this." The Fresno County coroner will determine the man's cause of death, stupidity likely being one of them. Today's bonus honorable mention was willing to go all the way to protect his garden shed against burglars. The best way he thought to do this, he decided, was to construct a booby trap. He cobbled together some ropes and a shotgun aimed at the door. Proud of his ingenuity, he decided to demonstrate the effectiveness of the device to his 2 friends by shooting himself in the abdomen and lower arm. An emergency operation prevented him from winning a Darwin Award. Police searched his home and confiscated firearms and ammo, along with 15 full-grown pot plants that perhaps helped him formulate this painful lesson in safety. Number 1. Corby Garden Pro. A would-be burglar has died after falling through the roof of a garden machinery shop in Corby. The owner of Corby Garden Machinery arrived at work the morning of November 20th to find a dead man on a piece of machinery inside his warehouse. It is believed he was trying to break into the building when he fell through the roof. His fall was so rapid it didn't even trigger alarms in the building, and his death was only discovered the following morning when workers started arriving for their shifts. The owner of the garden shop said, "We are regularly targeted here. They want hand tools that they can easily transport and sell. We've made it as difficult as possible for them with good security, but we are still getting burglars trying to get in. They go up on the roof to see how long it takes the alarm to be triggered, and then they come back. I guess they don't have to worry about this burglar coming back ever again."